This video is on Suboxone versus Methadone for those addicted to heroin, OxyContin, Percocet, any type of opiate, type of drug, narcotic, dilaudid, morphine, Demerol, and the list goes on. Anything that's considered narcotic, painkiller, prescription, including tramadol. Tramadol was not considered controlled 15 years ago, but it has since graduated as being controlled. So that merits. I have been on both and am off of both. I was on Suboxone for 15 years. It was originally, let me tell you the history of Suboxone. It was given in buprenorphine in the form of shot back in 1999. It was given for 5 days to help people detox from narcotic addiction, dependency. In those days, I had a righteous pill habit. I was ingesting perhaps 100 to 150 Percocets in a day. And yes, they should have made an offense, should have shut my liver down. By all rights, it should have, and it did not. Still, the things I did to maintain that addiction were criminal. And I ended up in a program called Relapse Avoidance Program, called RAP. I don't know if that's still in existence today. That was 22 years ago. But buprenorphine is now in Suboxone, which is now taken sublingual, under the tongue, or put in the mouth, in the cheek. And it takes 10-15 minutes to dissolve at most. It's given in 2 milligram, 4 milligram, and 8 milligram, 12 milligram also. It's a titration process, as is the case with methadone. And on both, methadone usually starts at 30 milligrams, and where the maintenance dose for methadone is between 60 to 100, but I was on 120 back in year 2002. I was on methadone a couple of times, and you have to be careful with methadone. People overdose on methadone. Suboxone is much safer, harder to overdose on. I know from personal experience. I became suicidal plenty of times throughout the course of my addiction, and I ingested 12 milligrams of Suboxone one night, and woke up the next day just as perfectly. It's hard to overdose on Suboxone. Now I know, pardon me, I know people can intravenously use Suboxone. I've never done that. I've always tried to be in complete compliance with the Suboxone and Methadone program. Now, mind you, back in the early 2000s when I was on Methadone, I did do cocaine. Many people who are on Methadone tend to cocaine addiction, or benzodiazepine, or barbiturate, anything, I did do heroin when I was on methadone, but you don't quite, get aside. I'm trying to give the pros and the cons between the two, and my point is this: neither one is meant to be a lifelong dependency. However, if it works for you and gives you a freedom to be a productive member of society, I would say go for that. Go for that. Why be held hostage in an addiction and be afflicted for the rest of your life, being bound to something that is unhealthy and destructive? it's nothing but pain that comes with addiction and being afflicted, living in direct conflict of your own morals and values, chasing that next one. And to those in the 12-step fellowships that judge and say, oh, you're on methadone or you're on Suboxone, therefore you're not clean, fuck you. Fuck you. Who are you to judge? Because if somebody found a way to live healthy and productively and hold down employment and a roof over their head and put food on their table, honestly and legally, who are you to pass judgment? I did it for 15 years. Now, I have found a way to come off of it. I just cold turkeyed. I'm as sick as a dog. But now that I am off of it, I have no intention of ever going back on it. It's a dependency I personally don't want. So, but it had its purpose for me, and I do this video to inspire other people. It's not meant to come across angrily, but it does come across angrily in that the stigma that is associated with being on Suboxone or Methadone. People stigmatize and put everybody in this box and equate it to the junkie with a needle in his or her arm on the street, and that is not the case. There are doctors and lawyers who put needles in their arms before they go to work. But we innately think the worst of the worst scenario about other people, and no one has the right. I have been on every end of the spectrum with this addiction. So, I've had money, and I've not had money. I've been homeless, lived on the streets, and I've bought things and didn't look at price tags and didn't give a rat's ass about prices. So, neither walk of life is necessarily any easier, because with either walk of life, it's still about survival and self-preservation and not getting hurt or used by other people or taken advantage of. So, it is really just about making the right choices and adhering to the betterment of yourself and living in truth to who you are as a human being. This Suboxone and Methadone stigma, people need to grow up and educate and get over it and practice some acceptance and extend the common courtesy of respect to the next person that is trying to overcome. We are all afflicted with something, whether it is overeating, sex, shopping, gambling, food. I said food, but the point is, Suboxone doesn't work for everybody. I've met people who said it doesn't work. So if it doesn't work, a methadone works better for you, and the commitment of showing up to a clinic, that structure, if that's the key, there's nothing wrong with that. Some people, I get that. I hated that personally. But, whatever works for you to help you get free from narcotic addiction, opiate. Handle that, it's epidemic, and trust and know this. They say it's next to impossible to get off of, and it is, but I did it. And I was one of the worst junkies that there was. One of probably the worst. I don't know. A lot of people are legendary in their own mind. Maybe I'm flattering myself, But I was one of the worst. And I know if I can do it, really, anybody can. Anybody can. So I'm not out to be a legend in my own mind. I'm just trying to convey hope to anybody that's trying to do the next right thing. Anybody that is suffering. Because it's hard. It's really hard, you know? And it's the same thing. Cocaine addiction, the only thing that they have out there is topiramate. And it helps minimize craving. And that is another video for another day, but it works for some. Just know they still have a long way to go. And it's a process. It's a process. But don't let other people in these fellowships tell you that you're not clean if you are on methadone or Suboxone and it's working for you and you're maintaining and you have relationships with your family and friends. That shit matters. It's important. Don't try to please the people. Please the person that matters, the person within the confines of your own skin. Don't go and put a needle back in your arm. You know? Different strokes for different folks. Those medications have medicinal purpose. And I'm sorry I didn't do a more formal doctoral video here, but I'm trying to convey hope and strength from a former junkie. Good luck.